You are live. Hi there.
Hi, everybody.
I'm Valerie Stivers.
I'm Hank
And this
Zona.
is Hank Zona, and we are re-drinking, which means we are bringing you a current take on a beverage that has an interesting cultural history. Before we've done books or songs, and today we're doing something a little different. We're doing horoscopes. So the culture in question here is horoscopes, and we discovered the work of an Australian astrologer who also runs a wine club, who's made a pairing of wines based on people's astrological signs, which we thought was really interesting, and we wanted to try it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I am not a subscriber or a regular reader of Australian Vogue, but but there was this article back in June, and Rosie O'Donnell is her name, and she has Astrovino, and she is a wine person and is really into astrology, and has come up with this great business where she actually is finding these craft-made Australian wines and pairing the style of the wine with people's signs. So we thought, since Valerie actually is really knows this stuff well, we thought it might be fun.
I mean, I guess that was the next question is, you're not a reader of Australian Vogue, but are you an ordinary horoscope reader, Hank?
I'm not an ordinary reader of horoscopes. I used to read free will astrology when The Voice was in print.
Mm-hmm.
I actually also have, look at the newspaper every now and then, but I'm a believer. Let's put it that way. I believe that sign characteristics do hold true for different folks.
Me too. I definitely believe it. And I also think it's a fantastic way to choose a wine, because a lot of times we don't really know what wine, many people don't know, when they go into a wine store, what wine is going to suit them best. And, if you can just do it by your sun sign, everybody knows their sun sign or almost, and understands what that means. So this is an exciting cross-cultural thing we have going here.
Yeah. And O'Donnell from Astrovino, her feeling is that wine is a creation of something that's in a very specific space and place and time, and she believes that it's astrology is a cosmic terroir because also it is so specific.
Your zodiac sign is exactly the moment that you were born, and the place, and the arrangement of the planets. Your location, determines your personality in some ways, and certainly that's true of a wine. How intensely its location determines its taste and what it's about. So you picked for us a red wine and a white wine. One for me. I'm a Pisces, and tell them about yourself. What are you?
I'm a Sagittarian, and allegedly I'm pretty much a Sagittarian.
And I'm a Pisces, also with a Pisces moon and like a Pisces rising sign, so I'm as fishy Pisces as it possibly gets. So before you tell them about the wine, let's read what this cool Astrovino woman said is the profile for each of our signs, right?
Okay. So you start with, you want to start with Sagittarius?
Right. I'm going to start with Sagittarius, and I'm actually going to ask another question before I even start reading, which is it says Sagittarians are impulsive. That's the very first thing. Are you impulsive?
I've done a lot of impulse buying of wine the past 6 months, so yes, I guess I am.
Very good. Okay. Sagittarians are impulsive, restless, knowledgeable, candid, honest, optimistic, and warm-hearted, says O'Donnell. Anyone who, like you are, is a wine expert is warm-hearted because you're out there always recommending delicious things for people to drink, which is a generous and lovely thing to do. I'm going to go on. They are insatiably curious and gifted with incredible mental prowess. The Archers are expressive, buoyant, generous individuals who can make the best out of any situation. And now here's what she says about the ideal wine for your sign. And again, expressive, buoyant, generous individuals. I think that does describe you really well. I think this is the stars have it on here. The ideal wine varieties for the sign. When I think of Sagittarius, I think of warm, bouncy reds that align with their jovial nature. Succulent and bright red berry characters, more juicy, less tannic, easy drinking, medium-bodied, fun-loving reds. Red blends that bring together all the good stuff in one vibrant glass. Try, and I'm going to not pronounce any of this right, so forgive me. Try Carignan, Negro Amaro, Montepulciano, and Tempranillo. You want to correct that?
Yeah, yeah. Good, you got it. You got it all. So,
Okay.
so you are a Pisces,
Yes.
and with that, before I read the characteristics, do you consider yourself a classic Pisces?
Um, there's recently been a thing where they said all the signs are wrong and they shifted us all around and said, actually, there's an extra constellation and I should be an Aquarius. And when I read Aquarius, I was like, oh, I'm sort of Aquarian. But traditionally, I guess I've always believed it, that I am a Pisces. I
Okay.
mean, it's hard to say as a Pisces because when you say you're a Pisces, it's like I'm like a dreamy and romantic and like emotional person, and like in a self-productive way. You don't want to just say that on the internet, but there we go.
Okay.
Go on.
So here's what O'Donnell wrote. She says Pisces are intuitive,
Uh,
dreamy, idealistic, sensitive, caring, and highly imaginative. Now those are all nice characteristics. Water signs are empathic creatures that can be easily absorbed by the suffering of those around them. Pisces is the final sign of the astrological cycle. This placement is partway between the tangible and spiritual worlds, and with access to both realms, Pisces gain mysticism, creativity, and intuition.
well, I'll let other people be the judge if any of that is true.
Okay. So ideal lines. When I think of Pisces, I think of cloudy styles that blur the lines of reality. Textural white varieties such as Roussanne, Marsanne, Viognier, and Chardonnay have a dreamy fluidity which suits the neither here nor there nature of Pisces. Reds can range from lighter, more transparent styles, such as Grenache, Pinot Noir, Cabernet Franc for Pisces' innately gentle character, and then progress to richer, more robust styles like Shiraz and Mourvedre and a Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre blends. So, which will comfort these delicate creatures when in distress, providing solace for the sign that feels so deeply. So, so I think a lot of people find solace in wine
Uh-huh.
and comfort in it.
Right.
But again, it's again a sign that feels deeply, and I think just based on my experience collaborating with you and reading what your works, if you will, yeah, I'd say that you do feel deeply and you are very empathic. So let's see how I did
Try
that
the wine.
with the
Let's
wine.
fight me more about the wine. All right, so this is my white wine we're trying, and we're gonna.
Your white wine. Okay, good.
Oh wait, are we supposed to start with mine? Are we supposed to start with yours? Yes.
Start,
Okay.
start.
Hank's white wine is lighter, so we're starting with that one.
Yes.
All right, here it is. Can we show it?
My white wine is a Verdicchio from Borgo Paglianetto in Marche in Italy. So I think one of the things it said was that again, I kind of like wines that are kind of the white wine is sort of fun, right, and vibrant and lively. And they mentioned Vermentino, and I've been on a real Vermentino kick the past couple of years, especially in
As soon as
summertime.
it said that, I was like, those are exactly the white wines he likes. So this Australian astrologer had you pegged on the white wine, like very.
What kind of wine profile a little bit with all the collaborating we've done? We have a pretty good idea of what each other likes and what each other is like now, which is kind of fun. So this winery is in the Marche on the Adriatic. There's Verdicchio is a very crisp, very vibrant, nervy kind of a wine. You'll find some salinity and minerality in this, and I can tell you that even before I taste it. A really good winery. This wine won the Tre Bicchieri Award, which is the highest honor from Gambero Rosso, which is an Italian wine magazine, a few years back. So this is 2017, and it's this has so much acidity in it. I'm gonna bet it tingles a little bit, almost as if there might even be a fizz in there, but I don't think there is. That's what I like. It's citrusy. It's stone fruit. It's got vibrancy to it. There's minerality there. It's refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I like it. I think it's a little bit, I think, we recently had to do a story about how to tell what wine you like, and we were trying to explain how to profile people's palates. And so we now kind of understand that you like a lighter and more acidic wine than I probably do, especially a white. And this does seem exactly like the kind of thing that you like. It's very crisp. It's very refreshing. It's very dry. I mean, I like it. It's yummy.
As it warms up a little bit, I'm getting more stone fruit in there too. I don't know if you're.
I struggled on a fruit comparison for this and
Okay.
bought like pears or pear nectar or something, but I did not get stone fruit. Except now that you say it, of course, then you're like, oh yeah, maybe a little.
No, but I can see what you're saying too. Absolutely. So yeah, so if this is
Yeah.
the type of white wine that fits
And is
Sagittarius,
this like grassy or strawy at all? Because it tastes a little grassy to me.
I would say straw.
Straw. All right.
Yeah, I definitely would. And again, it's just got a nice flavor, and not maybe not as laser in its acidity as say Vermentino might be, but this is a nice wine. So, but
very good. And I think she said
I'm excited to have your white wine.
Aha, my white wine. All right, so we have to talk about my white wine because not only do we have the astrologer said that I like a textural white, and people can't really see it, but this label that Hank picked is actually textural, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean it really is, and when I bought it, I didn't notice that, and it really is a beautiful label, front
and back. This is when he bought. He also didn't notice these cool naked Japanese girls on the back of this wine called.
And I would say they're probably cool, but they look cool. And
he showed Jade, and yeah, you can't really see it very well, but this is a beautiful, beautiful label art. And next, we shall see how we like this wine, and if it's a good wine for a Pisces.
So just label alone, it's we're getting textural, we're getting layers, and that description. For a Piscean wine, and the wine itself is from Chile. The winery is Ver Sacrum. It was a mountaineer actually started this winery a handful of years ago with a couple of friends.
A mountaineer?
He was so impressed with the terroir in Chile that he and some friends started the winery, and they wanted specifically to plant Rhone varietals. This is a Marsanne and Roussanne blend, and
two grapes that I'd never heard of. And I also want to say that's crazy about the mountaineer because mountaineering literature is one of my side specialties. I'm totally obsessed with mountain climbing and mountain exploration. So
you are currently in the mountains right now,
and I'm in Vermont in the mountains. So keep going. Good.
So what I knew what we would find just in Marsanne and Roussanne is more richness, more layers, again, more texture, more mouthfeel. But I think what makes this even more interesting is that, first of all, it is they leave it on the skins. It's not technically an orange wine, but they leave it on the skins for up to a week. So you get a little more texture from that skin contact, and skin contact is always good. And then it's fermented in both concrete and also in neutral oak, but they don't top off the barrels in the neutral oak, and that creates a floor. And a floor is really this cap that is in a lot of sherries and creates that oxidation, that oxidative taste to it. So again, the way they make this wine just adds another layer on top of the layering itself. So this is layer upon layer upon layer. This if you really want to sit and delve into this wine, it's kind of like peeling the onion, and with a much nicer taste.
Yes. Well, I have to say that I do like this wine better than I liked your wine. I mean, I like a wine with a little bit of mouthfeel, and I like a complex white wine, and that's sort of my curse in ordering out at restaurants because I feel like anytime you get a white wine, it's never interesting, and I'm always saying I'd like an interesting white. That's the best way that I would know to describe what I want, and this definitely is layered and interesting. And when I opened the bottle, this one had, I thought, a wonderful smell. Like it had a wonderful aroma coming from the bottle, even right off the bat. And then yours, I tried to sniff the bottle and was like, I can't even smell anything. So really big, I'm Sagittarius, but the Pisces white wine definitely is a kind of luscious and exciting white wine.
Yeah, and again, it's got the layers. It really is fantastic. And I know you're a sherry fan too, and just having that little extra added layer with the floor on this is, it's not heavily oxidated, but you get enough of that taste in there, and that's pretty cool. So
I don't understand what you mean by the extra layer. So you're saying that the barrel is not totally full and having more air in it,
right? So they call it the angel share. So wine evaporates, and wineries will keep topping off the barrels to keep the barrel full so that the wine doesn't oxidize. but in sherries and other certain styles of wine, they will leave a gap there and let this kind of layer, this floor, FOOR, happen,
Wait, is
which
that layer like a moldy layer of some kind? And is it
it
actually
kind
a
of is, yeah,
physical
it
one?
kind of is. And what it does is it eats up a lot of the glycerin in the wine. So
Uh-huh.
this isn't actually as sweet and tropical maybe as a Marsan Roussan might taste to some
Mhm.
people, but it still has those flavors in there, and at the same time, that floor adds a a kind of nutty sherry type flavor to it as well. So that's the extra added flavor to it by not filling up the barrel.
Interesting. I was saying caramel, and I was saying candied apples, maybe. Like,
Yeah.
so
Even that scent is amazing. It really is.
the scent is really amazing. And also, that's so interesting about Angel Share because I don't know if it's still there, but there for a long time there was a secret cocktail bar in Manhattan called Angel Share.
Uh,
And I wonder if it's from that. Um,
the angel share is what evaporates, and it's probably in spirits too. In the spirits world, an angel share will be evaporation out of a spirits barrel as well, and out of a wine barrel. So and it goes to the angels as it evaporates. That's where the name.
Never knew that that's what that bar was named for. And I don't think it was a particularly whiny bar, but maybe I
Might have
was
been spirits. It could be
you know,
spirits too. So
I was in my early 20s. I wasn't a good connoisseur of that kind of thing. It was a good cocktail bar. Okay, let's do red.
on to red.
All right.
So are we doing your red first, right?
Doing my red first because we believe that my red is more my red. We believe my red is lighter.
So,
Here's
so
the
your red. This is Azimut, and Azimut is from Penedès, the Penedès region, which is really well known for cava. And the family that makes this wine is a really great organic cava producer, Spanish sparkling wine. But they work with local organic growers.
Mhm.
Azimut is the local dialect. It's for the space between the sea and the sky, which kind of
Wow.
applies to your apartment in Red Hook, probably. Between the sea and the sky,
Uh-huh.
and because these are elevated wine regions,
Right, right.
and so one of the things it said is that the red wine that works best with Pisces is the GSM, the Grenache Syrah Mourvedre blend, which you find in Côte d'Aron, and also then approaching a heavier style, maybe Tempranillo. So the beauty of this wine is that it is a blend of Garnacha, which is Grenache, of Monastrell, which is Mourvedre, of Carignan, but also what you have in here is Tempranillo. So
Mhm.
this is sort of a bridge between the lighter style of red that she says works best for Pisces or pairs
Mhm.
best with Pisces, and also the more robust style. So
And this is the wavy, wishy-washy Pisces thing of, you like it both ways and you kind of like it all mixed up.
yep.
I have to say that I absolutely love this wine. And again, as soon as I opened the bottle with this one especially, I was like, whoa, want to smell that. I want to taste it.
Yeah, so I went to WFMU Radio, which I support, had a natural wine fair, and with Maritime Republic importers back in February, and 40 natural wines, and this is one of the ones that really stood out to me, and I got to taste it again last week with someone from Maritime Republic, and it still really resonated with me. I thought it would really work well for your red wine. So it's got that kind of Tempranillo, earthy, leathery smell, but it's
Yeah.
also got that really nice, lighter sort of a Côte d'Aron sort of blend too.
It's so interesting. I mean, I thought it was both red fruits and black fruits, and I thought it was sort of peaty in a way, almost like whiskey-like. Although I'm getting that less now that it's been open a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
again, a little leathery, I'd say. Smells like my old baseball glove,
mm.
which is not to diminish it. That's a nice smell, but it's also got beautiful clarity and color.
Yeah, well, my wine is definitely a lighter and more, clear color than yours is.
But it still has a lot of flavor. Has a lot of flavor to it.
It's really perfect. It's super flavorful, and it's also really drinkable, and really, I love it. So,
I
really
can make
good choice.
because this is something you can drink by itself, but it really be great with a lot of different food as well too. So, but you love it. I guess that means it resonates with a Pisces.
Pisces, right? So Pisces viewers, here is a great wine for you. And Hank and I have a patron page for redrinking. You can find it at just Google it because I'm not quite sure, but it is there. And we're going to be putting up details from our videos on that page. So anybody who supports us will be able to find the specific wines that we are recommending and auxiliary material about our videos.
Again, Azimuth is the last wine. And again, one of the nice things about these wines too is they all really have pretty cool labels. And
let's show them your label. So here's the Sagittarius.
Nice segue, right?
Yeah.
So Jason Charles was I believe, a photographer, artist. He wanted to find the intersection of kind of wine and farming and art. And he makes wine in West Berkeley. He's got an urban winery, really cool happening urban wine district, if you will. And but he buys grapes in different places, and what he has decided he wants to kind of focus on is Carignan. He makes other wines as well, but he's found these great old vine Carignan farms, 85 to 125 years old. They're organic because the fourth, fifth generations of families that have been farming them never did anything but just kind of grew the grapes and farmed them. They never really went into synthetic fertilizer or modernization. So, and believe it or not, there is a good amount of that in California. So he went and he guessed the Carignan from them. I think he only made about 325 cases of this wine. Most of these wines are pretty small.
Is Carignan one of your grapes that they recommended for you for reds, or why was this a Sagittarius wine?
Carignan was one of the recommended grapes, and again, one of the things I tried to do here too, because in that Vogue article, O'Donnell really focuses on small craft natural wine producers, low intervention wine producers, and not all those wineries that she supports you find here. Charlotte Dalton, I've had some of her wines, and I know Astrovino does carry some of her wine, but a lot of them don't make it to this country because the production is so small. So part of the challenge
is to do it ourselves.
Finding similar wines that were made here that probably will never get to Australia or anywhere else because the production is so small. So the Carignan was it's again
much darker,
much darker,
much purpler, more purple,
murkier. Lots of really nice fruit in there, and earthiness, and just a really nice flavor. It's got, I mean, that's the best way to describe it. It's got just a really nice mouthfeel, very drinkable.
Now, we were saying when we started this that my wine had that this wine had more body than my wine. And now I'm going to reverse myself again and say I'm not sure it does.
I think what your wine has probably is definitely has a stronger nose, much more scent up front on the Azimuth, on the red wine. And I think it's got that really pronounced sort of earthy, leathery kind of taste to it that really kind of stays through and has a really longer on the finish. This wine is really nice to drink. I really like the flavor of it. It's softer. I don't think it has the acidity that your wine has. Maybe that's where we're.
And by your wine and my wine, we should be saying the Pisces wine and the Sagittarius wine, because the whole idea of this is
yes.
I am drinking a wine for a Pisces and he's drinking a wine for Sagittarius.
So, but again, I like it. It's a beautiful color. I just kind of put it down here. I got some sunlight streaming through here on my porch, and this is just a really nicely made wine. And one of the things I heard is that if you go to their urban winery, they're usually there themselves pouring wine when it's open to the public. So
where's their winery again? So in Berkeley,
in West Berkeley, and that's also the beauty of supporting a lot of these small wineries, is that you really actually get to interact with the people making the wine, and often they're the ones doing the work all along the various steps in the winemaking process. And so they definitely are, not to be cliche, but they're definitely hands-on. And as opposed to like giant wineries where, the people who run them and own them may never actually set foot on soil. So, or get their hands dirty at all, so to speak.
Okay, so we are running out of time, but the whole point here was to decide, do you like your wines better than my wines? Does the Sagittarius prefer the Sag wines, and does the Pisces prefer the Pisces wines?
Well, so
you go first.
I'll summarize first. if white wines are to be crisp and vibrant and lively for a Sagittarian, and then absolutely yes, the white wine definitely worked. The red wine worked too because I'm supposed to be an explorer and into adventure and trying different things, and that's one of the things I find. One of the things I found in my wine drinking, as I am primarily a consumer over time, has really shifted to wines like this that are better made, that are lighter, that are again more vibrant, that are not the typical wines that you find out there. I'm always trying to find new, drink new, try new grapes, try new regions, new winemaking styles, and all.
Which is the Sagittarian explorer vibe.
So she has me there. Rosie O'Donnell has me there.
Okay, but you did evade the question of just as a person, do you like it more? Do you like your
and it's connected to me? It's kind of a fun.
Do you prefer the red? Do you prefer the red that you had to the red that I had?
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I love the red that is for Pisces simply because I've tasted it now a few times this year, and I just love that wine. I like both of them. I think we picked good wines here, but yes,
the parent being asked to choose between the two children's art, and they just won't do it. They're just going to wiggle the whole time.
I like my white better than your white personally, even though they're both really well made wines, and I like your red better than my red if we had to go that far. But again, I'm going to enjoy, now that we have 4 open bottles of wine, I'm going to enjoy drinking them all weekend.
Yes,
and they are really good wines, all of them.
They are. Right. It's not fair to prefer one to the other in the same way that we love all our children, and they are all really good wines. I will say that I probably liked the Pisces wines better than the Sagittarius wines in both cases, but again, really do agree that they're all delicious. So anyone who wants to find out the actual names of these wines that hasn't been furiously writing notes as we flash labels can come find us on Patreon, and look forward to our next re-drinking, which is a current beverage that's a take on a beverage with a cultural history. In this case, the culture we're exploring is horoscope. Yeah. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Yes. Happy Friday. Bye.